If you're in the privileged position of being able to spend 25 or so thousand pounds on a motor car whose principal purpose is pleasure, then a feast of delights is yours to choose from. There are small sports cars by the dozen, lithe Italian coupes, hot hatches, rally-bred four-wheel drives, even second-hand exotica. The choice is mind-boggling. But just suppose you want a car that isn't even remotely practical. All that matters is that it's quick. Really, really quick. Well, if that's the case, one of these should be top of your shopping list. The Ultima. There's two drawbacks to owning this car, though. The first is you've got to build it yourself, and the second, you spend your life explaining to people exactly what it is. Ultima isn't new, but unless you're a kit car buff, it's probably new to you. When you do see it, it's hard to ignore. The styling is as aggressive as the Group C racing cars that inspired it. It's not beautiful, but it is well proportioned and purposeful in a brutal sort of way. Because Ultima doesn't have a full windscreen, it doesn't need windscreen wipers. You tend to look over the top of the screen rather than through it. That's just as well, because it actually distorts so badly that you have trouble working out where the front wing and the front wheel are on the near side. That said, it does deflect the wind and the bugs over the top of your head, but goggles are pretty essential no matter what the road conditions. Unlike most kit cars, Ultima doesn't use a donor vehicle. In fact, almost all the components are bespoke. Steering rack, wishbones, brakes, even the suspension uprights are purpose-built. And all that attention to detail pays off. The car feels well-engineered and solid, though obviously some of this will depend on how well you screw it together. A job that will take you a not inconsiderable 450 hours. Oh, and after people have asked what it is, the next question is inevitable. What'll she do, mister? It depends very much what sort of power plant you screw into the engine bay here. Most customers go for the 5.7-litre Chevrolet V8, mated to a Porsche transaxle, in this case a 6-speed unit, but Rover and Ford Cosworth engines go just as well. Now, if you don't tune the Chevrolet, it produces about 345 brake horsepower, which in a car like this that weighs 950 kilograms is quite enough. The result of that ridiculous power-to-weight ratio is that the Ultima goes on the road like a scolded cat. It's actually got 6 gears, but it might just as well only have 2, and one of those could be reversed, because no matter what gear you're in, you shove your foot down, and it's enough exciting. Handling is, as you'd expect, very much like a racing car. The steering is very direct, only 2 turns, lock to lock. The car can really dart about on the tarmac. Enormous grip from these huge rear wheels. The ride is only a fraction less than rock hard, and tremendous braking from big 12-inch ventilated disc brakes. The Ultima is brilliant fun to drive, and the performance is just fantastic, but it's that sheer brutal power that poses the fundamental question about this car. Is it a racing car or is it a road car? You certainly can't even start to scratch that performance on public roads in safety. For a kit car, it's expensive. For a supercar, it's a bargain.